LifeHub. It is good to have you here in LifeHub. Education is not preparation for life, education is life itself. We at LifeHub love learning, and now my friends will come and tell why they love learning at LifeHub. So we first have Emil to come and speak. So Emil will tell us why he loves LifeHub, learning at LifeHub.
I love learning at LifeHub, and the reason I like it here is what I would say is my experience in my old school was I was not seen and heard. Whatever questions I asked, they didn't teach me and they didn't pay attention, and they used to look at me as a class, as a part of a class. But here, I'm seen and heard, and here they look at me as individual. They teach me. So to conclude, I like being seen and heard here. And another thing here is that yes, we do have academics, we do learn a lot. And but another thing is that here, whatever problems I face between my mates, like my friends, whenever I fight with them, or I feel uncomfortable when they tease me or shame me, at that time the teachers, they come to me and they make me and my friend have a conversation with each other, and we solve it together. And when we do that, I feel more comfortable around my friends and in my class.
Hi, my name is Princey. I love LifeHub because there is fun in learning. There is no stress in learning. The tutors are so kind. They celebrate us. LifeHub makes me think creatively. LifeHub makes me think whether I should do something or I should not. In the normal schooling system, I used to be scared of speaking in stage. Now I can speak in stage. I love LifeHub because it makes me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Olivia. I'm from Spartans. I like LifeHub because I like to learn with friends, and here teachers are very kind and friendly, and I enjoy my schooling. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Karis. I'm from Spartans. I like LifeHub because there is fun things like CWT, IWT, and club time. I love those things, and it's interesting. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Sharon. I like LifeHub because since in science class sometimes we have fun scavenger hunts, and I like CWT in combined work time, and I also love my coding club time. Thank you.
You guys are free to disbelieve it, but these kids were not coached to say what they were wanted to say. Probably their parents spoke to them, what are you saying, and help them with certain things. But this is something that comes from their heart. This is often asked these kids whenever they're hanging around. Hey, what do you like about life? What's different here? And the other day, one guy was like, here staff are so kind, and they don't scold. Actually, they scold a little. That's what he told me. And why we started LifeHub. Okay, so I've got two kids, Karis, and Shalom, and Prasad and Lindsay. They are here. They have two kids, and we were all studying in the same college, so we know each other for years. And then we have Vijin and Ramya, Sharon, who spoke last. So all of us are friends together, and we were putting them in different schools. Probably I put them in 4-5 schools in Chennai, and in a couple of schools we paid the fees, and halfway through we are like, thank you, and we pulled the kids back. I was not happy, and that's where we started researching about what's wrong with the system. And when I started studying about the system, it was really very interesting about what's wrong with the system. But before going into what's wrong with the system, what really excited me was about how learning happens. And think about it. Every child that is born into this world, they come into this world as learning machines. They learn to talk, they learn to walk, they learn the language of the culture in which the child is growing up. In our generation, the child learns to operate mobile phone where most grandparents do not. And when did we teach, in which house are we teaching the kid, this is a mobile phone, this is home button? Do we teach them? No. This is how you open. Do we teach them anything at all with regard to mobile phone? No. But they learn it because they are learning machines. Anything and everything, if it is curious enough for them to get their attention, if they are going to bring their attention because it is curious enough, they are going to learn. So learning is so natural, learning is so organic, learning is free flowing, much like how a sapling grows or a seed grows or a tree grows. Can you explain to me how a seed grows? Can you make it grow? Can you take the seed and push it, press it hard, then the sapling comes out of the seed? No, you cannot do any of those things. All you can do is keep the seed in a right environment, right? Give the right atmosphere, right amount of sunlight, right amount of water, add manure, and remove weeds. So removing blocks and providing the right atmosphere, learning happens automatically. So how do we create such a culture? So it is the environment, the soil, the water, the air, all those things. In our context, it is the culture. What is the culture? What makes a great home a great home? Because parents are earning well, you have the latest television, you have the biggest sofa, you have the fantastic paint, great car. Does it make a great house? Would the kid want to come and stay because you have all those things? No. So what makes a school a great school? What makes a nation a great nation? What makes any organization a great organization is not the infrastructure, is not how big the building is, it's not how much equipments are there. It's about the culture. When you walk into your workspace, how does that culture make you feel? That's what is going to make that place a great place. When you walk back to your house, why some people just don't want to get back home? Not because there is no TV or anything, but the culture. So what makes an institution a great institution is the culture. So what forms culture? Our core values, our core beliefs, our priorities and practices. So what do we fundamentally believe about every kid? What do we fundamentally believe about learning? What do we fundamentally believe about the why of education? That has to shift. In a regular system, the responsibility is teaching. In a regular school, what is the responsibility of the school? Is to teach well. For example, I grew up, I studied in a school, here. Teacher would come and teacher would go. Periods would change, but I won't know because I'll be sleeping. All right? And once I woke up, the staff has changed. Chemistry has gone and physics has come. All right? And I have never crossed more than 90 marks out of 200 in chemistry in +1 and +2. But just before the exam started, a public exam, 3 months, one friend of mine helped me. Hey, you take down these chemistry equations, you write these things, you by heart, you write like this, you study. She just taught me how to by heart and how to do things. And I did it. 3 months I studied. Okay? And I wrote my public exam. I got 200 out of 200 in chemistry. I got 196 in physics. And today, what do I know in chemistry? Come on, guess. What do I know in chemistry today? Right? That's because taking up exam is a skill in itself. Taking up exam is a particular skill. That doesn't equate learning. Just because we score good marks, that doesn't equate learning. Just because we teach well, that doesn't equate learning. So teaching doesn't equate learning. Scoring good marks doesn't equate learning. So what is learning? Learning is from within, and when curiosity is kindled and there is right environment, the kid learns. And when the kid learns how things work, and concept goes inside. Once the concept goes inside, it stays for life. Then when the kid looks at a problem, the kid starts thinking solution. Oh, this is a problem, and I can apply solution. That's how innovation happens. That's how creativity happens. But in a regular system, both the staff and the parents keep telling something to the kid. If you don't study well, come on, complete the sentence. If you don't study well, you won't get a good job. Right. If you don't study well, you won't get a good job. See, that's the mindset. We keep training our kids to work all through their life to serve something. No, we don't teach kids how to think creatively and problems and solutions. So it's a paradigm shift of what true education and true learning is all about. So if we have to be problem solvers, if we have to bring solutions to the world's problem, we cannot train our kids in our regular model and then all of a sudden when they pass out of school or college, then they become solution givers. No, the skill set is totally different. For example, my dad is a veterinary surgeon. He did his veterinary medical for how many years? Now, probably 50 years ago, he would have finished. Right. So 50 years ago, he would have finished his medical science. And after finishing his veterinary science, how much he had to keep updating and learning to keep his job? Not much. With the degree that he finished, he was able to work all through his life. We finished engineering in 2007. Can we just continue with what we learned? The moment we go into IT companies, the first thing that the IT company tells us is you did not learn anything in your engineering college. We are going to train you. And then every 2 years, unless you do some certification, unless you finish something. So all our degrees, the validity of our degrees and the skill set is reducing. When our kids finish, I don't think there will be 4-year degree courses or anything. It will all be micro courses where you have to quickly learn something and master the skill and apply it and keep learning. And you have to keep learning and be a lifelong learner. So for you to be a lifelong learner, you need to own your learning. For you to own your learning, you need to have self-learning skills. So our goal in LifeHub is to make the kid self-learners. But how do we do that? If self-directed learning is the goal, right, we start with self-regulated learning. Self-regulated learning is where you do scaffolding, right? You give scaffolding for the kid. The kid is not there. We are not going to be like, okay, self-learning, you guys do. It's your, no, that's not self-learning. We need to see where the kid is, what the mindset is, where the kid is struggling. So we need to provide support systems, knowing that it is a scaffolding, that we need to remove it after some time. It should not become permanent. So this is a very complex issue, and it takes lot of time, lot of energy, lot of rewiring of how you see things. One of the reasons we don't really push media-wise for admissions, but slowly grow organically, is because we don't want many people coming in, because we want the culture to be safeguarded. So I always tell, we don't reject kids in LifeHub, we admit or reject parents. So the interview is not for the kid, the interview is for the parent, for their mindset, what they really want for their child. So here, the goal is to make our kid self-learners. But it is not just connected with learning, learning academic things. Our relational issue comes into play. When, as husband and wife, when we fight, no matter how brilliant my kid is, the kid is not having a culture to learn. So the 3 core values of LifeHub is connect, create, cultivate. Can you say it after me? Connect, create, cultivate. So connect, which is talking about the connection. God has hardwired us for connection. Our body is hardwired for connection. Our brain is hardwired for connection. Our soul is hardwired, for relationships. Emil said something, right? He wanted to be seen and heard. He said, in the previous system, I'm just one of the numbers, in the old system, who will be seen and heard? When there are 50 kids in the class, who will be seen and heard? The top 5 guys who really perform well, and the last 5 mischievous fellows will be seen and heard. These are the 10 guys the teacher will remember by name. The in between 40 is a number, registration number, right? It's a roll number. Only for attendance, he says, yes, ma'am. That's it. He won't be seen or heard after that. So we believe in every kid has to be seen and heard. We want to listen. Sometimes the class is put on hold to address an emotion of a child. The child shares the story. This is what is happening in my house, right? And then I've seen staff sit and cry with them. I've seen other kids sit and cry with them. We really value emotions, emotional health. Why? Because, Elon Musk, the guy who is leading the thing about innovation and putting people on Mars practically, when he was interviewed about his interview strategies, and they asked him, what is the mistake that you have made in hiring people? He says, I have personally interviewed everyone in SpaceX and Tesla, and that's a lot of time, lot of hours into interview. One of the mistakes that I've made, this is Elon Musk saying, right? One of the mistakes that I've made is hiring people who are technically sound but relationally poor. Technically sound but relationally poor. If I put him in a team, he cannot work with anyone. He keeps creating problems. But he's really good technically. So he says, that's my problem. So we don't want to just produce academic genius. We want to produce people who can manage self-regulate their emotions, learn to connect, learn to talk without blaming and shaming, learn to express what is going on within them, express their needs. We are teaching, whatever we are teaching couples to improve their marriage is what we teach the kids. We were talking about expressing needs the other day. My son, I said, Shalom, do you want to finish your homework and then go down to play? Then he says, Daddy, I have a need to play. Right? You asked me to express my needs. I have a need to play. So they're getting the language. They're beginning to speak. You know, Akka was telling me, her son was telling her, it seems. Did you hear? Jasudian said, any overreaction to an error always leads to another error. So he always, these kids know how to pick up things and put us parents, because they're really smart. They're really good at it. So it is a relational piece of the puzzle, connect, then creativity. How does creativity work? Creativity works through problem solving. How does problem solving work? Through risk taking. And we need a culture which doesn't shame failure. If there is a culture, shame culture, failure is shamed, then we won't take risk. If you don't take risk, then there is no solutions, creative solutions. So creativity, to have a shame-free culture where you can take risk without the fear of failing. And then the third is cultivate. For the other two, you need a lot of skill sets which has to be cultivated. So research skill, communication skill, interpersonal skill, critical thinking, these are skill sets. Those things have to be trained rather than content. Oh, mathematical, you should know algebra. Oh, history, you should know this. It's not about the content. When we go forward, Google, has all the content, all the information at the fingertip. You don't need to remember things. What you need is skill sets. How do you research? How do you analyze? How do you, put data together? For example, you start seeing anti-Russia video in the whole Russia-Ukraine war. Your Facebook feed is going to be filled with anti-Russia. Your YouTube feed is going to be filled with anti-Russia. So in the plethora of information, how do you collect different viewpoints and how do you match those things? These are the things that are really needed in the future. So these skill set is what we need to bring in. So all these things we want to do, but this is where we are. So we are having a roadmap of how to go step by step, how to do the scaffolding, when to remove those things, what to reinforce, and still keep the academic milestone, reaching. So this is what we are trying to do, and I'm so proud. Can the team stand up? Staff, wherever you are, can you just please stand? Yeah. Come on, put a hand to them. This is the team who is really giving 100%. We have a lot of discussions back and forth about, see, I'm a visionary, I'm a dreamer. I can dream all I want to dream. At the end of the day, they are with the kids, right? Trying to make things happen. So they keep giving feedback, this is working, this is not working. Then we keep doing things, we are fine-tuning. And last 2 years went in online. Oh, we don't like that. As parents, we don't like. As kids, they don't like. Because we are not designed for that. We are not designed to know each other through screen. Gadget is a good thing, but it's not everything. So we are so excited we are able to be back in a physical space so that we can do things, feel things, sensorially make these things happen, and we are excited on this journey. I want to really appreciate Prasad and Lindsay for putting all the effort in making this thing happen. Thank you. And If you have any questions, you can speak to the staff. You can have chat with the kids. All right? And, I'll be around. You can chat with me also. Okay? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. It's a journey together. It's a culture that we want to set. So, we are not looking for admissions. We are looking for people who really believes in the vision, who want to come along in this journey. That's why it's a homeschooling cooperative. It's not a school. Why it's not a school? It'll be very easy, right, for us to go and get an affiliation, CBSE affiliation or some affiliation. You're putting your head into their system and they're going to strangle you again. We don't want that. So we want to be as flexible as possible, but still have some structure. So there are some good elements of the old system. There is structure, there is infrastructure. For me to buy all these equipment just for my 2 kids will not work. But when we come together, put money, that works better. So we take the best of both the worlds and we are forming it. That's why it's a homeschooling cooperative. It's not a school. It's a learning center where we all learn together. As parents, we learn how to work on our marriage, how to work on our parenting, how to work on our emotions, how to scaffold our kids. These are the things. You'll be given reading material to work on your marriage and all these things where you come along this journey, because we are all learners here. We are all here to learn. We are all here to set the culture so that, this Chinese proverb which says, it takes a village to raise a child. If we can form that village, form that community with a culture, growth happens, learning happens, and they become wholehearted individuals who would be confident to face the world. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for this opportunity to serve you.